Hello all you wonderful people on the internet. Welcome to my channel. I bet you can probably tell from my outfit what today's video is going to be about. That's right, we are doing Star Wars theories. I'm joking. Did that land? I hope that landed. Anyways, we are doing Stranger Things theories today. Now, I know I'm personally a massive fan of the show, if you cannot tell. And I can't wait for season 5. It is as I'm recording this, it's supposed to come out November 2025, November/October 2025. So I am really excited about that. And today I'm going to be talking about popular Stranger Things season 5 theories and giving my personal opinion on them. This is definitely my most researched video ever I've done on this channel, which is saying something because I've had to read whole books. But I have 18 or 19 theories on here, and I have a 4-page document pulled up, and I use a 10 font, so you know that's big. Yeah. But yeah, so let's go. I also have a tier list where I'm ranking all of these, and I will show that at the end of the video. Theory number 1. Eddie will come back as Kaz the Bloody-Handed, Vecna's right-handed man. Okay, so from my research, the 5th episode title is Escape from Cabazotz. Now, Cabazotz is a big bat figure, so that could be, basically that's simplifying it extremely, but that could be hinting at Eddie's return, which a lot of fans are eagerly hoping for. Was Eddie's death necessary? Not really. I feel like he could have made it out without dying. I feel like he could have made it out alive, you know? But do I see him coming back? I really don't. I hope he does. I really hope. But I just don't think he will. Because, I mean, his death will mean less because it was a very emotional thing for viewers. I was moved. I know that sounds so cringy, but I was. I feel like if they bring him back, that kind of cheapens it a little bit, you know? I'm going to give this theory a 2 out of 10 likelihood. Eddie might come back, but personally, I feel like it'd be like in a dream sequence or something, or maybe even just a past vision, but him in the flesh, alive, I don't think it's that possible. Next theory, Max will be Vecna's puppet. I completely agree with this, honestly. I feel like if they weren't going to use her, kind of like how they used Will in season 2, they would have, no offense, but they probably would have killed her. Like, they might have just went ahead and done it if they didn't have a use for her in season 5. I love Max. I was so sad because I was like, dang it, I just can't catch a break. But, I think this is, honestly, I'm gonna say this is a 10 out of 10 likelihood. This could age really poorly, but that's personally what I think. This is a theory I've heard for a long time, which is the B theory. Basically, if you don't know what that is, every single season, somebody's name who starts with a B has died. Season 1, it was Barbara and Benny. Season 2, it was Bob, rest in peace. Season 3, it was Billy. And season 4, it was Brenner. So people are thinking it could be somebody else in season 5 with the last name of B will die. So it could be any of the Byers. It can be Murray, what's his last name? Bowman, Murray Bowman. Or it could even be any of Susie's family, because their last name starts with a B too. I think since this list covers so many characters, oh, and Robin Buckley too. How did I forget Robin? I love Robin. Oh my gosh, I'm mad at myself for that. But since this list covers so many characters, I honestly think it's inevitable for one of them to die. I have not read any of the spoilers or anything, or any of the leaks, so I don't know, honestly, if it's been confirmed, if any characters will die or not die yet. But I honestly really think that Will is going to die. Either Will, Mike, or 11, and I'll get into that a little bit later in the video too. So one of those characters dying, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 likelihood, because I just feel like that's too many characters to save all of them. If Will dies, he will know through the hive mind. He will still be connected to it somehow, like how we saw in season 4. He can still feel it, and he will be fully aware of his death coming, but he won't tell anyone. He'll write notes to everyone, arrange everything, and it'll just, I don't know. So we don't really have any proof for this. This is just something I saw online. And honestly, I could see this happening. I wouldn't put it past the Duffers. But I want Will to have a happy ending, you know? So I don't really want this to, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. I mean, it could happen, but it's not up there. Karen Wheeler is Henry Creel's sister. Now, when I first heard this theory, I honestly thought, oh my gosh. Because it makes sense why she had a poster in season 4. That I feel like that would make more sense. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more it's been disproven in my mind. Because I feel like if they were going to do such a big reveal, they would have done it as like at the end of season 4, and that's how they would have ended the season or something. But I feel like if they do it in season 5, people would say it feels too rushed. And I honestly would agree with that. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. This isn't really a theory, more of an observation that could lead to other theories, but I'm still going to talk about it. The silver cat feeds when blue meets yellow in the west. That phrase was a translation of the Russian code in season 3. Now, how could this still be relevant? I mean, we're done with Russians. I mean, are we though? Okay, that's another topic completely. But I feel like Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers, they are geniuses of foreshadowing, even if it's in clothing pieces or stuff. So I've seen online that Vecna could represent the silver cat. Mike is usually associated with blue, and Will is usually associated with yellow. This meaning, Vecna waited to start his little killing spree until blue, Mike, and Will, yellow, met in the West, aka California. What's so important about Mike and Will? I mean, why do you have to wait for them to be in another state to execute his plan? Well, this could make more sense if you believed, this would make sense if you believed the Alice is actually Karen theory, but it could also refer to the fact that Will says that Mike is the heart of the whole party and everybody would fall apart without them. And when he left, people died, so. But then again, Mike is kind of just a dude. But don't get me wrong. I loved Mike in season 1 and 2, but he fell off a little bit in 3 and 4, and I'm gonna get to a theory for why that happened a little bit later down the road. I guarantee some of you know what I'm talking about. But honestly, I feel like since 11, Mike and Will were all 3 in California. That's why Vecna chose then to be the perfect time, because Mike is the heart of the party, and 11 has the powers, and Will has a connection to Vecna, so he would have been able to tell everyone he is coming. Like, he would have been able to give everyone a warning. But if they're all off in California, then that's the perfect time to strike. I can't really give this a theory. I can't really give this, like, a number or anything, but I just thought that's a cool observation. Mike and Will go down to the Upside Down together, or they will be attacked by a creature of the Upside Down. The evidence I found for this theory is that one of the episodes is called The Vanishing of Blank Wheeler. So if we go through the Wheeler family tree, this could be Nancy, Karen, Mike, Holly, or Ted. I don't think it's going to be Ted or Nancy, or I don't think it's going to be Mike, and I don't think it's going to be Karen. I think it's going to be Holly. For one, Nancy's little vision she had in season 4 about her whole family being dead, which I really hope that doesn't come true, but you never know. And the fact that some of the cast photos that have been posted on like Instagram and stuff are of Mike, Will, and Holly riding bikes together, meaning they are either traveling together. So maybe, this is like going out on a limb here, but maybe one day they are going on bikes together and they get attacked by like a creature from the Upside Down and they take Holly. So Will and Mike have to go down to the Upside Down together to go get Holly back. Now, I feel like this is an extreme long shot. Do I think parts of this theory would be true? Yes, I do. Do I think that's gonna happen word for word? If that does happen, oh my gosh, I don't know, but I do think they're gonna be attacked by some Upside Down creature, or they're gonna have a encounter. Also, if they did go to the Upside Down, this would help with the Flickergate theory. If you know, you know. So, like I said, I think something of this theory will be true, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. 11 will have to trap herself and Vecna inside of the Upside Down together to be able to stop it. It started with her, so it has to end with her. With the first episode of the entire show being the Upside Down and the last episode being the right side up, it kind of makes sense. I kind of feel like an ending like that would be cruel, though, because Hopper would lose another daughter, Will and Jonathan would practically lose a sister, Max would lose a best friend, So I don't know. But I feel like, I don't know, because I think they might kill off 11, but I don't know. See, I keep on saying that. Obviously, I don't know. It hasn't been released yet. And also, I honestly feel like this might be a little too predictable. And I don't think that the Duffer Brothers would do that. I wouldn't put it past them, but I just feel like that's too predictable. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Because, like I said, I can see it happening, but I don't know. 11, I am your father, says Vecna. Okay, I was actually so surprised when I first heard this theory. People think that 11's parents, we've met 11's mom, we have not met 11's dad though. And I feel like the time frame does match up and the ages do kind of match up, because like if we're going through a 1997 time skip, Vecna would be in his 40s, which, I mean, that's typical dad age, I would say, for a teenager. But I don't really see this happening, because I don't think Stranger Things wants to be the show known as the show that copied Star Wars. So I'm going to give this a 1.5 out of 10, or I'm just going to round up to a 2. I found 3 different theories circling around this singular episode, so buckle up. We know that the first episode of Season 5 is titled The Crawl. So we know that in the last episode of Season 4, Murray interrogates a Russian, and the Russian says, the shadow went in them. Before we find out who the heck he's talking about, he dies, which, unfortunate timing, am I right? Obviously, Vecna is going to make an army, but what if he already has? Total 11, it was too late to do anything. What if he wasn't bluffing? What if he already has an army of Russian soldiers, all his past victims, everybody, who, like the people in Season 3 who were hive mind, them, Chrissy, all of them? What if the crawl means all of the monsters and victims are mutated versions of themselves crawl out of the Upside Down into Hawkins? I would have given this a higher ranking if these other 2 theories did not exist. So I am going to give this a 4 out of 10. My biggest piece of advice for the last theory, though, was like, the Duffers said they wanted to start things off with a bang, so that could fit with that, but I'm still gonna have to give it a 4 out of 10. It's common knowledge that the characters, especially the kids in Stranger Things, love D&D. I mean, with the whole Hellfire Club, and the show opens with a game of D&D, and obviously the show brings back monsters from the game, like Vecna's, the Mind Flayer, Demogorgons, those are all D&D things. So some people think it could be a D&D reference. The Crawl is basically when a party goes on a journey, a maze-like journey, and defeats monsters and dragons. Again, I also really love this theory when I first heard it, but the thing is, I'm gonna have to give this one a 4 out of 10 also, just because the last theory exists. This episode could be a point of view of Will Byers from when he was in the Upside Down in Season 1. Now, when I first heard this, I was just like, a whole episode? And I still don't think it's going to be a full episode, but I do think that Season 5 is going to open with this. The Stranger Things official writer's account on Twitter posted this. Season 5, Chapter 1, Scene 1. Darkness. The sound of cold wind, groaning trees, and a child's voice singing a familiar song. My mind instantly went to Will Byers singing Should I Stay or Should I Go in Season 1. That's like immediately when I saw this. And honestly, this evidence is just so thick, and you can't really disprove it because it's official writers squad. Also, this video of Noah Schnapp, aka the person who plays Will Byers, in front of Castle Byers, which was destroyed in Season 3, and this picture. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I do think that Season 5 is going to open with that. And is that why it's called The Crawl? Maybe it could be both of those. That's how it opens, and then it has one of these other theories about the Crawl episode. I don't know, but I just know that piece of evidence right there, you can't really dispute it. Again, this isn't really a theory, more of a prediction, and I can go deeper into this in another video if you guys want. But characters I think have 0 to no chance of dying are Lucas, Hopper, Dustin, Max, Jonathan, Nancy, and Erica. That's just out of like the main cast. I would also probably put Robin and Argyle on that list, even though Robin has the whole B theory thing going for her. I just don't, and obviously, and Duffers love killing off newer characters, but I just honestly don't really see her dying. And they've already killed Hopper once, so I don't think they're gonna kill him again. Max, same thing with Max. If she is still, and right now she's in coma, if she wakes up from the coma, I don't think they will kill her, because like I said, we've already gone through the pain once. I don't think they're gonna do it again. They might, but I just don't think that's a possibility. I also don't think they're gonna kill off Lucas, because he's already had to go through all the despair of Max dying, so I don't think they'd kill him after all that. And I have a similar reason for Dustin, because he had to go through Eddie's death. I don't think they would kill him off, even though Gaten did say that he wants Dustin to die, and he talked about how he pitched it, but I feel like if Dustin was actually dying, Gaten wouldn't be allowed to share his little whole plot thing with the media. If it was actually going to happen, you know, like if what he said was they run out, they ask the kids, everyone okay? And then he's like, guys, and then it's like, am I just saying this because Dustin's my favorite character and I don't want him to die, and if he does, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. Next theory. I do want to say one more thing on this theory before I move on. I was getting ahead of myself. The rest of the characters, like Nancy, Erica, Argyle, and Robin, I just don't really see them. I already mentioned Robin, but I don't really see them dying, you know? Or Jonathan. I just don't see it, you know? I don't think it would make sense in the whole grand scheme of things. I could see Jonathan, like, sacrificing himself for Nancy or Will, but anyone else, I just don't see it. So, like I said, this isn't really a theory, so I can't give this a number. Those are just my predictions. These could be horrible. Honestly, most things in this video are probably going to be completely off, and I'm going to look like an idiot, but whatever. That's not new to me. The whole thing was a D&D game. I know, I'm just as shocked as you. This theory has already been disproven by the Duffers, and I am so thankful for that, because if this was the ending, I would be throwing a riot. 0 out of 10. Don't need to spend another minute on this. Next theory. I bet a lot of people were waiting for this one. Byler. Now, if you don't know what that is, have you ever been on like Reddit or TikTok or any social media platform that has Stranger Things content on it? Basically, Byler is the ship name of Will Byers and Mike Wheeler. Byler versus Malevolent is one of the biggest debates in the Stranger Things fandom. It can get a little out of hand at times, I will say that. It's gotten so big that even the actors talk about it and know about it. Noah Schnapp who plays Will Byers, is literally one of the biggest Byler shippers out there. In Stranger Things, we currently have 2 openly queer characters, Robin Buckley and Will Byers, or at least open to the audience. Even though Will never said it, you can obviously tell by context clues that he does not like girls. And Robin had the whole talk with Steve. So we know that they do have characters that are a part of the LGBTQ community. It has also been confirmed by the Duffers that they know how they wanted to end the show from the beginning. So they've been putting little Easter eggs throughout the show leading up to how it's going to end since season 1. One thing I don't think is brought up enough when people are talking about Byler versus Malevolent is the fact that this show was not originally written to be as popular as it was. Like, you want your show to be popular, and you write it, I guess you want it to get traction, but it wasn't meant for popular people. It was meant for nerds and outcasts and people who felt like they didn't belong and people who felt like they were freaks, even if they're not. This is especially shown in, like, the original 4 boys, because Dustin is made fun of for his teeth and the things he likes. Lucas is made fun of because he gets a lot of racist remarks and also the things he likes. Will gets a lot of homophobic remarks, to even Joyce thinking when he originally was missing in season 1, people thought it was a hate crime, which that broke my heart. I was really sad when I realized that. And Mike gets made fun of because of the people he associates himself with, and also because he's a nerd. But I mean, all these kids are nerds, and they're easy targets according to the bullies. But this show, it's so inspirational to outcast everywhere that they have main characters of a show who exhibit these traits, who people can relate to. Because usually people who exhibit these traits or like awkward are the weird and goofy comic relief side characters, or the mostly the side characters, yeah, but having main characters that are relatable and inspirational, it meant so much to everyone. And I just love that. And that was what I think the Duffers' main focus was whenever writing the characters. Why do I bring this up when talking about Byler? Well, like I said, this show is great for representation of nerds and outcasts everywhere. So having a LGBT relationship on a mainstream show would be huge, and it would make television history for two of the main characters of a show who are both guys to be together. But that's the thing. This show wasn't originally meant to be a mainstream show, to my knowledge. So, would they change this to appease the general audience? I just realized that throughout that entire little rant, I did not mention if I personally ship Byler. I do, as many people do. I mean, there's hour-long video essays and a 300-slide presentation out there that I may or may not have read in its entirety, just about all the symbolisms and different things that could lead to a Byler endgame. Honestly, I just really hope they don't pull already. I am still pissed about that to this day, but you just never know, because like I said, it's a mainstream show now. So would they change it? I really hope they don't. So if I was ranking this based on how much I want this to happen, this would get an 11 out of 10. This would get an infinity out of 10. I really hope that Byler's endgame, but I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 likelihood, because it could go either way. And do I believe that Byler's endgame? Honestly, I have my doubts. I hope they're proven wrong, and I really hope it is. I do, however, think that Malevolent will not be endgame, and they will break up. Even if Byler isn't endgame, I still think that Malevolent will break up. And mostly because this was their first ever love, and I do think that they don't really know what love is. I think they're confusing platonic love with romantic love, because this is both of their first relationships. I mean, when they first got together, Elle had just escaped from like a lab she'd been in her entire life. When they first kissed, it'd been like 5 days after Elle escaped the lab or something. So this is both their first relationship. This is both their first experience being romantic with another person. And I feel like it's way too commonly shown in Hollywood that you're going to fall in love with somebody and you're going to marry them, you're going to be together happily ever after for the rest of your life. But that never happens, usually. You usually never marry your first love. I mean, very few people do. And I just feel like that Elle and Mike, they've had a lot of fights, and they honestly, most of their relationship in season 3 was just making out, for crying out loud. Again! Like, I like their relationship. They're cute together. But I feel like their feelings are more platonic. Mike couldn't even say I love you for a while. And to her face, at least. And you might be thinking, oh, what about Micah's monologue in season 4? I have written my own monologue about that whole shebang. Do not get me started. This video is already way longer than I intended it for it to be. And way longer than all my other videos. But I just, like I said, they're cute together, but I just think Elle's better off on her own. And you're not going to marry the first person you ever date. You're not going to marry the guy you kiss in kindergarten. You should not be kissing guys in kindergarten. The guy that you date in kindergarten or middle school or anything like that. Sure, they've been through a lot together. I'm getting worked up about this. I just don't see them being endgame. Again, they're cute together. There's nothing wrong if you think that Malevolent's going to be endgame, or if you think Byler's going to be endgame. But I'm going to give the Malevolent breakup a 6 out of 10, because I really see it as a possibility, but I don't know, honestly. Again, with the I don't knows. I feel like I'm saying that way too much, but it's the truth. The final theory of the video. So you know how the Upside Down is stuck on November 6, 1983, aka the day that we'll be missing? If you didn't, you better learn that. That will be on the test. Pun intended. That joke did not land. Anyways, let me get back to this theory. So there is a theory saying that 11 will fight Vecna, and in order to save Hawkins, she will have to like trap both of them in there. Time is a very relevant thing in Stranger Things with Vecna's whole clock obsession, and we know there is going to be a time jump, but we don't know if it's going to be forward in time or possibly backwards. Some people think that what if the whole show like rewinds, like while Elle is in the Upside Down, we see the day that Will goes missing in the first episode, but this time Elle is watching over him. He never goes missing. Vecna never, the Demogorgons never takes Will. He never spends the day in the Upside Down. They never meet Elle. All these chain reaction stuff, it never happens. Are you serious with me? That would be the ending? Just like that, roll the credit? No, that would be just as bad as the stupid D&D ending. Are you kidding me?
Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3.
Sorry, I got a little worked up there for a minute. Okay, so this is not as bad of an ending as I made it seem out to be a minute ago, but it also doesn't really make sense because like Elle's the one who opened the gate. So even if they didn't, like, even if Elle watched over him while he was doing that, the original gate still would have been opened. And I guess there has been a Stranger Things spinoff series, like, confirmed, or like, somewhat confirmed. So maybe that could be, like, filling that plot hole. That could be what the theory would be about. I mean, not the theory, the spinoff series would be about. But I honestly don't really like this ending. Because, like, that's basically saying the entire show didn't happen. And I just don't really, like I said, that's very similar to the whole D&D thing. Because in the D&D thing, it basically shows the whole thing was just a game. In this, the whole thing didn't happen. It was just an alternate universe. Which, I mean, could be interesting. And I would not be too mad if this ending was perfectly and beautifully executed. And it was a tearjerker. But I just want to see the cast when they're older and stuff. I want to see what their life would be like after the events of this Upside Down. I want to see that. And like I said, so I would not be too mad if this was the ending. And I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 because it could happen. But honestly, I just don't see it. And I really hope it doesn't happen because, I just feel like this would be too predictable. If I'm predicting it, it's predictable. I don't know. I hope there's something different than this. So that's all the theories I have for this video. You should currently be seeing my tier list ranking everything. Basically, the way I organized it is throughout the video. During each segment, I showed a certain picture, and that picture I took and put it on the list. It makes it to organize. It makes sense in my brain. Personally, that's how I've best organized it. Now, again, these are just theories. Keyword theories. This video could either age like fine wine or spoiled milk. We don't know, because like I said, as recording this, it's months away. So, but I just wanted to share my personal opinions, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to talk about the things I enjoy or shows I watch or just my certain interest on the internet with you guys. And again, none of these are set in stone. These are my personal opinions. And feel free to disagree with some of these theories or opinions or put your own theories in the comments. I would love to read them. And maybe even make a separate video just of fan theories about this. That would be so cool. But anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure, if you want to, please, it would really help if you guys liked and subscribed. I'm not begging or anything. I just really appreciate it. And as always, thank you for coming to my Ella Talks. See you next week. Bye!